An immigrant father of 5 British children faces deportation after 45 years of calling the United Kingdom home. This is the story of Sheldon. Sheldon came to the UK when he was only 16 months old. It was his mom that brought Sheldon to the UK to join the family. Sheldon settled in Huddersfield when he first arrived in the UK. In fact, he sees Huddersfield as his home. Sheldon has only left the UK, wants to return back to his home country since he has lived here for more than 45 years. And he only spent 2 weeks in his home country when he returned. Sheldon went to primary school in Huddersfield and he did not have any problem. In fact, Sheldon thought he was British until his ordeal started. When he started secondary school, Sheldon, with the influence of friends, started experimenting with drugs. After that, he became addicted to drugs, and as always, he needed money to feed his addiction. Sheldon then turned to crime to feed his addiction. He became involved in a lot of crime, and by the time Sheldon reached the age of 26, he has spent almost 10 years in and out of prison. Something significant happened when he was 26. Sheldon, it was reported, put his hand around someone's neck, pinned them, and collected £20 from their pocket. No weapon was used, no injury was caused. However, the consequences of that £20 is something that has ruined Sheldon's life. If you see any value in this content, you can support this channel by giving it a like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so. Sheldon, after that incident, the authorities said, you know what? We have had enough of you, bro. You are always causing trouble. Sheldon was sentenced to 2 years and 60 days in prison. However, he was sentenced under what is known as imprisonment for public protection. It is designed to keep the most dangerous people out of prison, and the focus of it is future, not harm. So even if you are sentenced to 2 years and 60 days, the authority have the power to keep you for 100 years in prison if you live that long. After that incident, Sheldon has now served that prison time. He has served that prison time. However, the parole board are the only people that have the power to remove Sheldon under the grant for his detention. The European Union in 2012 ruled that it is inhumane, unlawful for the UK to be detaining people under this thing, and they ruled it illegal. The government then stopped it. However, the government said these people that are currently being detained under the imprisonment for public protection, they are about 2,500. We are not going to release them, because if we release them, we know that they will commit crime again, and we are tired of locking them up. We are going to hold this one. We are not going to detain new prisoners under imprisonment for public protection, but the old ones, they are not living again. As I speak to you today, about 100 people who were detained under imprisonment by public protection, they have ended their lives. They say, we've had enough. There's no hope, and they've committed suicide. However, Sheldon has been involved in other sort of crime. Even when he's in jail, he has had issues with the authorities in jail. Sheldon, the Home Office then say, you know what? You are not British. Despite the fact that you've been here since you were 16 months old, we are going to send you to your home country, and we are sending you. As soon as Sheldon was informed about deportation, he challenged the Home Office and he said, I have 5 British-born children, and I also have a grandchild, and another grandchild is coming. If you send me to a country I haven't been before, since I was a baby, I've only been there for 2 weeks, I will die. Don't send me, because I have my family here. This is my country. Let me stay here. Sheldon was quoted as saying, I came to prison age 26. 36. I will be 47 next month. How can this be fair to serve 20 years for only stealing 20 pounds? This is not justice. This is a life destroyed by sentence which has been abolished and ruled as illegal by itself. Let me go and meet my family. I am a changed man here. The Home Office said no. The case then went to court. The judge then said, despite the fact that Sheldon has strong family connection in the UK, the judge said, and I quote, there is no effective integration. You have spent 67% to 70% of your stay in the UK have been spent in and out of prison. And therefore, there is no evidence that you have integrated. So it's better for you to go back to the country that you left when you were 16 months old. Hopefully, when you get there, you come to your senses and you stop misbehaving. However, his daughters have argued, saying, no, this is not fair. You cannot send our father back home. If you send him there with no family connection, the man will die. His mom also argued as well, saying that the state is holding my son's life. They should release him. He needs mental health treatment. That is what the brother needs, according to his mom. However, the Home Office say, no, you're going home. And the brother, Sheldon, has now lost his case, despite the fact that the United Nations is investigating IPP cases. The Home Office saying you are a foreign criminal now, despite the fact that you've been here for 45 years and you have children. You have to go back to the country you left when you were a baby. As I speak to you today, it's possible that Sheldon has already been deported or is about to be deported. This case divides opinion. Some people argue that given his family connection, given the fact that he left his own country when he was a baby, he doesn't have any connection there again, he should be allowed to stay. It should be allowed to stay in the country because it's a failure of the prison system. That is why this brother is always in and out of prison. That if the prison system was meant to be doing what it's supposed to be doing, rehabilitation, this brother would have turned his life around and not cause any threat to society. Why some have said, bro, you've been here, you spent all these years in jail. Hopefully when you return back to your home country, you have some senses and you stop misbehaving. Let me know what your views are about this case. This is a very important case. This is the source of this case. For anybody who wants to read up on this case, this brother comes with a country that starts with J. Anybody can guess it. Let me see if you can guess the country. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Thank you so much for all your support. God bless.